We are live. Welcome to the first crossover after the 2025 National. Many questions to get to. But first, Josh, how are you? What was the temperature in Phoenix today back home?
It is raining right now, and it hasn't rained in months, so I should be outside, but here I am answering financial bull run questions. Let's go.
Let's go. All right. So we're gonna try to keep the show to 60 minutes. Lots of questions to get through, so we'll try to rapid fire through them. But the first thing we do today is mail days, and I know you have some. You have a lot, and I have a lot. So
I'm more bulk, less quality, so I'll go first.
yes, please.
All right. There's no order. I don't even know what's about to happen. 20 Oof, this is going to be tough. 2018 Prism Hype insert Black Finite 1 of 1 Todd Gurley. 2017 Select Premier Level Die Cut Black 1 of 1 Todd Gurley. Probably my favorite pickup from the National. 2019 Prism Black Finite Todd Gurley. So this is my second base Black Finite Todd Gurley. This one I bought before the National started. 2024 Optic Gold Vinyl Tyreek Hill.
Nice.
2019 Optic Gold Vinyl Todd Gurley. I already had this one, but I pulled it out to grade it. And then 2018 picked that up at National Optic Gold Vinyl Todd Gurley.
Oof.
I got this one today. 2024 Optic Gold Vinyl CD Lamb 1 of 1. This one I bought. You were there when I bought this one. This one comes via Mark Sweat. Thanks, Mark. This is 2020 Optic Gold Vinyl Michael Thomas 1 of 1.
Very nice.
That. And then this was a graded at National 2018 Black Finite Prism Gurley. Graded that one. Bought this one from John Pack Nicholson en route to his money saving Jay Cutler scheme. 2020 Prism Black Finite Zeke Elliott 1 of 1. I got made fun of for this card. I don't know why. Zeke's an all pro.
Nice.
2024 Black Finite Prism CD Lamb 1 of 1. Got that at the National. 2015 Finest Superfractor Travis Kelce. This is his only Finest Superfractor, and he has 2 Chrome Superfractors, and they both suck.
Let's go.
So I think this is like his best Superfractor. That one comes from Chris Cards KC. 2022 Optic Gold Vinyl Justin Jefferson PSA 10.
This is fucking nuts.
This is a bin smash on eBay. 2023 Optic Gold Vinyl Justin Jefferson 1 of 1. This I bought from Chad Black Hat Cards at National. I think you saw that one.
Yeah.
And then this is a grade cross. Oh, I also got. I could rant about this. Do you want me to rant or no?
Always rant.
So I made a post about like what are your guys' favorite like slab holders, and I got a lot of replies about graded guard, slab mags, and I forget the third one. Honestly, the third one looked cool, but I forget the name. Those companies didn't reach out to me and be like, "Hey, I'll send you one." That's just easy marketing mistake. But Cardboard We Love Mina, he sent me 3 of the graded guard ones. Very, very kind of him to do that. And I think they're slick. They're like cell phone holders for cards. So they're very tight on the card.
Nice.
They have a clear back and then no front.
Sick.
And
Otter boxes for cards.
This is the Tyreek rookie final. I crossed this from a BGS 10 to a PSA 10.
Oof. So is that it?
Yeah.
Just something light.
I'm exhausted.
Who was that other company that we extended our offer to? Christina even linked in them.
That would be
Red
Truly and Red Baron.
Truly and
I
Red
also, there were a couple marketing people I reached out to. Truly and Red Baron, like I full on stalked and like found the person who runs their marketing and even messaged, like directly emailed them, and I never heard back.
Well, I like the graded guard ones. So if they hear this, send me a few more and I'll post for you guys. If not, I won't post.
Except you just like shouted them out on this podcast. So
Nobody watches this.
facts.
Okay, so what would you
He-
say that was? That was maybe.
They have their own. They're public.
Fuck, I was gonna try and
Truly,
make.
no, this isn't. Truly is actually owned by like Sam Adams. So
Shocker,
this is
Oh,
like
this is not
this
truly.
is not Truly.
Fuck.
dude. I haven't had a Truly in like a year and a half. So that's
Yeah,
what-
their stock
that
went
was
down since
that
you
was their
stopped
downfall.
drinking. Yeah,
Or does Red Barons have a stock?
probably.
no, dude. No
But, like
way.
they're probably owned by like Nestle or something. Like everything's
Yeah.
owned by something.
All right,
Yeah.
just forget
Case
everything I
in
just
point.
did. Sorry
Do your
about
mail
that.
days. Do your mail days.
All right, let's do my mail days. Oh, Christina just ummed and then left. Okay. Mail days. All right. First
I'll
up,
mute.
am I muted?
No, I said I'll mute. Go.
Oh, sorry. Okay. 1999, 2000 Upper Deck, A Higher Power, Michael Jordan 1 of 1. 1999, 2000 Upper Deck, Air of Greatness subset, Michael Jordan 1 of 1. Donruss Elite, Black 1 of 1. 2022, Brock Purdy. 2022 Mosaic, Nebula 1 of 1, Brock Purdy. 2023, Select Black Finite Concourse, Jokic. 2016, Totally Certified, Blue 1 of 1, Jokic. 2017, Totally Certified, Blue 1 of 1, Jokic. Those are my national moves. If you want to know more about those, go to my stories on Instagram. My story highlights on Instagram, and I talk more about like how those fit into my collection and stuff.
I'm listening to the bull market episode 2 right now.
Nice. Okay. Yeah.
You should ask me. You guys should not ask me what I got from National.
Pass.
Like 100 hoodies.
No, that's what I gave away actually at National. But I am rocking my card ladder hoodie today.
Nice.
From our friends at Homage. Mike, shout out Mike, who is awesome and helped us create them.
At the show, I would tell people that Homage. I thought it was pronounced Homage. I don't know anything, but I would tell people Homage made these shirts, and then people would say like, the Amish made the shirts. Nope, not the Amish.
The Amish.
Someone else in my house is wearing that hoodie right now, and it's by far both of our favorite hoodie now. Nice job.
Thank you. I didn't get anything at National except yelled at a few times, but
you were busy.
I was a little busy, but I just want to say and shout out Josh, Chris, and Nick for every day that they were at the National. They held the booth down, and I am very proud of you guys, and I thank you. The only time they ever disappeared was Sunday, and it was like super slow, so it was fine.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, we need little pats on the head from time to time. Little
I know you do.
SWAT. So
that is sexual harassment, sir, and I am not getting called to HR because you told people that I slapped your asses.
Metaphorically. Metaphorically.
Oh, okay.
Well,
push.
this was the best booth we ever had. So Christina, obviously you deserve double back what you just gave us. So great job. The hoodie giveaway and the hat giveaway was honestly like ridiculous. People were falling over themselves to get these hats.
Dude,
can I have 2? Can I have 5? And it was unbelievable.
Someone sent me, and I confirmed it. The hat, I kind of like am scared to say this, but you could look it up on eBay. Someone posted their gray out of like their silver out of 100 hat on eBay for $50 OBO. Someone offered $40 for it, and the guy sold it. So if anyone has a hat and they don't actually want it, you could potentially make some money for cards, and I wouldn't hold it against you. I'm kind of upset that I didn't order like 100 extra and then sell them for $40 a pop on eBay right now. So,
Christina, don't go down yet. Can one of you tell the story of the candy bandits, because that was one of my most favorite moments, just sitting at the booth.
How do
Maybe
I take video? How do I take video off of this thing?
Why?
video
There we go.
off.
Okay.
Okay, so these kids kept coming by and like stealing extra candy out of the
How
thing.
old?
And
Like, how old are
Like
describe
kids,
the
like, but they weren't kids. They were
were
like what
probably
I would
like-
call kids. They were like 18 to 20.
No,
like-
they were probably like 17 or
No,
18 at best.
no.
They were too old to be stealing candy. And finally, I looked over and I was like, "If you better not take one more." And they're like, "What? We're only taking 3." And I was like, "Take your hand out of the jar and walk away."
Dude, your dad voice turned on.
And
Yeah,
then 2 days later, they came back on the other side of the thing, and I looked over and watched them grab candy, grab candy, grab candy, and then I yelled across, "That's enough! Not more!"
And then they came back on Sunday when I was trying to get rid of all the candy. And I said they could have the candy, but they had to take the trail mix and the like beef jerky because
You gotta eat your veggies too.
I told them that I was worried about them just existing on sugar all week.
I'm gonna
That's the
zag.
mom.
I'm zagging here. I like their energy. I think that's hobby entrepreneurship.
They were like, but like, and they're probably not watching, so it's fine. And people don't know who it is, so it's whatever, it's fine. They were like making like weird noises, like while they were like rummaging through the candy too. Though
They were
like,
hungry. They were probably
they were like,
starving.
"Ooh, candy!" Like it was so it sounded
Wait.
like Muppets or something.
Wait, it's weird to do that? You've never done that?
No.
You've never rummaged through a pile of candy and sounded like the Cookie Monster?
Dude,
That's what
while
it
they were
sounded like.
while they were stealing candy, and I'm yelling at them, Chris is like, "I don't know. This is kind of cool. I like these guys."
I was
So
just
then
zagging, man.
Chris-
Someone's
So
gotta
then Chris
zag.
was like, here's another
Yeah,
thing of
exactly.
candy. Take as much as you want.
Like, she actually keeps it in the back. Do you guys want the code for the door?
Dude, these kids just walk all over me, man. If it was up to me, those kids would have convinced me to give them all my cards by the time they were done.
Yeah. And I also want to shout out Pooth and Mo for working the booth as well. And Mo is in the chat right now, and he said they were old enough to know better, and he is totally right. Like they were totally old enough to know better. And some of y'all need like a refresh from your moms, because when you take a sticker off of like the backing, you don't just throw the sticker backing on the floor when there are trash cans like 3 feet in every direction at the National. And then same with wrappers. When you're eating candy in like a public space, you're not at home. Don't put the candy wrapper in the jar where you like someone else is going to then pick up your empty candy wrapper. It's just gross.
All right, candy etiquette. Maybe you could like laminate a piece of paper that gives the rules for taking candy for next year.
Next year, it might be like you have to ask, and we'll give you 1 piece per person.
Or
let me
just
ask-
vegetables. Vegetables.
Or
$10.
just veggies.
Fucking
Veggie
asparagus are just booth reeks, and the urinals next to it just completely stink. Asparagus is the one that makes your urine smell terrible, right?
That and
Yes.
Brussels sprouts.
There's the zag. Keep people away from that bathroom. Okay, so anybody else want to give any other national things quickly? Ideas? What
There's
happened?
probably a rant about how we always talk about go there and like expect not to buy cards, and then we bought like a ton of cards.
Dude, zagging against your own advice is one of the best parts of being a content creator.
It just happened, you know. There's like people are coming to our booth selling 101s, so we're buying. What do you want me to do?
I DM'd you before the show. I was like, I have an embarrassing amount of mail days, and you're like, I have twice as many.
Yeah, but they're all added up to like one of yours. The best was like my moment of the National was when you were like sitting on the couch and Justin walks by and he's like, "Hey, we doing a deal on that 101?" You're like, "What's the price?" And he's like, "Here's the price." And you're like, "Done." And then he kept walking and you just kept filming or whatever you were doing.
It's smooth sailing dealing with them. I enjoy it. enjoy it quite a bit. Okay, Christina, do you want to tell any more tales from the National? Quickly, I'll give you one story to tell if you want. Otherwise, we're moving on.
No, not really. I just want to thank everyone who came by the booth, grabbed some swag and hung out, showed us some cool cards and like got to connect with us. I really like the National for me, like the guys said, is really busy. So, like you guys coming to me and like showing me your pickups and like what you have in your Zion cases, as well as like just taking a moment to chat with me and tell me what you like or don't like about Card Ladder. It makes my experience. So I just want to thank everyone who came by. And again, shout out to you, to Nick, Pooth, and Momo, because I appreciate you guys.
Okay, and go ahead, Josh.
The leadership that Chris and I bestowed upon everyone at that show was second to none.
Yeah.
Dude, you followed our directions so well, Christina. It
did.
was insane.
I know.
Okay,
Yeah.
Can I just tell one? I want to tell one story too. So, the great Sasha T was walking among the masses.
Are you serious?
And me, dude, I don't know. Like, I'm telling this story because I think there's probably a lot of people who can relate to talking to me and Josh at the same time.
So glad you're telling this story.
Sasha T was among the masses. Josh and I saw him. We went up. We said hello. How are you? And just when Josh and I talk to people, it goes very fast, and we just start firing a million questions at you. And we're like, "What have you been doing? And what's this pile of things you have?" And etc. And then Sasha just like he turns to us maybe like a few minutes in, and he's just like, "You guys are fucking crazy." And we were like, "All right, maybe we should just calm down."
Well, he was like looking at me say something, and then you, and then we're like, your videos were the best. We miss you in the content world, and back and forth. He's just like, you guys are nuts.
I just feel like there's going to be other people who are going to send me a DM after listening to this message, be like, "Yeah, I talked to you and Josh at the National too, and it is very intense." All right.
Yeah. Thank you. Okay. I deal with these two every day, all day, and then on Friday night, and these people, Sasha and a bunch of others, are now getting to experience one iota of a fraction of what I deal with. And yeah, it's not pleasant all the time. They tease and torture, actually.
Yep. All right. Thank you. Christina, you really only got to tell one more story. You told two, so.
I didn't tell the story the first time. I thanked everyone.
Right,
so see, you guys are doing it right.
Go down. All right, there we go. Let's get to the questions. So the first question from, so a little warm up here from Maze Sports. Which matchup on the NFL regular season schedule are you most looking forward to, and why?
Is there like a specific matchup even? Dude, the NFL is
schedule.
I like all the weeks are good, dude. There's always going to be good games. I want to see the Bills play the Chiefs or something like that.
That's a good one. Yeah, Bills Chiefs is that's a great one.
The NFL schedule is so good. The way that like the ones play the ones, you know, and like so you always get those good matchups.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. Give me some Bears Packers action. I feel like the Bears are going to be good this year, and we're going to turn our 0-20 over the last 10 years into like 2-20. All right.
No, you're really not, but you could still live in Deluluville every year.
Okay, go back down. Okay, so I'm just looking forward to Red Zone too, by the way. I'm getting into my Red Zone mode.
I think Red Zone might be cooked.
Dude, I don't think it is actually. I think I saw Scott Hansen like just a few days ago said he renewed his contract.
So okay. That's the best news of the day. I don't even care what else happens.
Yeah, Red Zone is dude. The NFL would be in trouble if they ditched Red Zone. That's a take.
I think here's a take. Scott Hansen is Red Zone. I think if they replace Scott Hansen with
no, you need him.
Some ESPN doofus that I wouldn't even watch. I'd rather watch commercials.
Kendrick Perkins doing Red Zone.
Dude, yeah, exactly. They'd be like, ESPN's like, we got our new, you know, Red Zone specific guys. This could be his job. He would suck. Be like Ryan Clark or somebody like that.
Now, why the hell? So Frankie says ESPN owns Red Zone now. Why the hell do they sell it? I don't know. Let's not. All right, anyway, Andrew Kesey says, "Who are your favorite sleeper picks in a PPR league?" Maybe just give like one if you have any. I haven't even started thinking about this yet.
Me neither. We just set our draft. Did you see that? The time?
Oh no, I didn't. Okay, I need to look at that.
It's like 2 weeks from today. is the draft. I'm a big Jahmyr Gibbs guy this year. It's not a sleeper, but
Nice. Yeah, I have nothing. So there it is, folks. All right, one more warm up here. Sweat47 says Josh was right. Kaboom sucks. So you just got to wear these guys down.
Eventually, they will cave.
Also, for the record, I don't think the take is that Kaboom suck. I think the take is that they're really expensive.
I think most people at the National that you saw converse with me on this were like, yeah, they're clearly like way overpriced, etc. You're right about everything you said, but I like the way they look. Wasn't that kind of the gist of it?
Yes. That's exactly what it was. All right. From WWE Gelman, with multiple 7-figure NBA sales in the last week, plus a frothy national, at what point do we reach a level of hobby market froth that we should consult a medical professional? I've heard that by the time rabies symptoms manifest, it's likely too late. You feeling rabies level froth?
I think you texted me this is the worst week of your life.
Oh yeah. It's my least favorite hobby week in a while, just because like when things are frothy, God, everybody has a bazillion private sales they want to report, and that just jams up the whole thing because it takes a while to go through private sales, and everybody's patting themselves on the back for how much their cards are worth, and then
what's your favorite pat yourself on the back phrase in a story? Is there one that's popped out lately?
Well, the one I remember from the last cycle that like I've seen a few times too, but not as much this time, is like a card that's just completely unrelated to the big sale, followed by what's mine worth. Those are my favorite.
Yeah, I think that that LeBron 400K exquisite pulled a couple of those out. I saw a few.
Yeah, those are. What's your favorite?
I don't know. Like, I think something along the lines of like, we're just getting started or finally getting the due respect. I can't stand those. Like Steph Curry finally getting his respect. Dude, his cards have been selling for 6 figures for a long time. He's been getting the respect. It's just that his prices are going up.
All right. From Jeff Rose Jordans. I'm currently in a holding pattern on purchases as I've consolidated down about as far as I can. So I'm in a research and curation mode, at least for a little while. What are some things you guys have used to fill your time and quench the collecting thirst when your acquisitions have stalled?
Buy football optic gold vinyls. They're much cheaper. I think it's okay to sit and wait though. I've done that before a few times, and it's not the worst thing. Wait for the froth to die down and you'll be back. There's no shame in waiting.
Sure. Just have some fun watching. What about, so like, you just showed like 2 Justin Jefferson optical vinyls among a million other cool cards. What about this idea that like, there's stuff like that I don't know, are things as frothy for those cards as it is for like some of the, not everything's frothy. That's what I'm getting at.
Yeah, I mean, they're probably more expensive relative to what they were 6 months ago, but that not quite as, they're not jumping at the same ratio as the Prism Black or other stuff. Basketball.
For sure. Okay, this one from the Hobby G. Can you talk about Grail tilt? What are the symptoms and how long does it last? In poker, tilt happens when, and then I filled in his question, sort of like he and I kind of DM back and forth, and now I added some color to sort of explain after talking to him like what it means. So in poker, tilt happens when frustration or euphoria hijack your decision making, causing you to abandon your optimal strategy. In cards, after you land a big grail, specifically one that you feel you might have overpaid for, afterwards you end up turning down deals and passing on cards that you normally would buy because you're like, I overspent, I can't buy anything more. And then you overcorrect to that and you rebound into consolation purchases and you start buying things that you normally wouldn't to make up for not buying the stuff that you normally would. And he was describing this tilt. Excuse me. He was describing this tilt, and he was saying that he really felt this tilt at the show. And if you want to look at some of the amazing cards that this guy's been picking up, go to his page, the Hobby G. This guy's got a really, really awesome collection, and he was a very nice and thoughtful person to meet at the show. But anyway, so here he's introducing this Grail tilt topic. What do you think about it, Josh?
Yeah, I was gonna say my tilt is like I get a little momentum and buy a couple things and get overly exuberant about just buying Michael Thomas SGC gold vinyls, it's like, oh, I got a couple gold vinyls. I like them. Let's just buy all of them. That's usually my tilt. Or like I get angry that I miss out on something and overcorrect. What his other side of it is like he's saying he overpaid so that he pauses on buying.
Yeah. And then after he
Yeah.
pauses on buying, he's like, oh, he regrets pausing on stuff because he's like, I'd normally buy this stuff. So then he overcorrects the other way and starts rushing to buy stuff that he normally wouldn't buy.
Yeah. Well, there's like less technical things that go along with buying cards versus poker. So I think that tilt is allowable. There's more, yeah, it's like more of an emotional thing anyways.
Right. Yeah. At first, when he and I were talking about this idea, I just sort of thought that Grail tilt meant the way that I meant it was that once I get a Grail, I just hate everything that's not as good as that Grail. It's like the way I start tilting is like I look at every other card that I have and I'm like trash, trash, trash. So that's the tilt that I sort of suffer with. But after he explained what he meant by that, I definitely know what he means. Because I've certainly had that where like I miss out on something because I'm on tilt, and then I've tried to compensate by getting something else. And this is certainly a dangerous market to do that in.
The other side of this is now this because the card values are going up so quickly. There's just like more cards that we want to see for sale coming out, and the possibility to buy. So you gotta make some quick decisions here in these next few months of like, do I overpay for this one but not that one? Is this one rare enough where this might be my only chance, etc. And I think actually Grant has done a great job at this. He's been picking up huge one-of-ones during this little window where people are like willing to sell because the prices are going up, and he's just like, fine, I'll grab the one-of-ones.
Yeah.
His page is insane.
His collection is awesome. Pat says, I'm not really, what I was describing isn't really tilt. It's more of the Diderot effect. I'll have to ask ChatGPT about that a little bit later. Thank you, Pat. All right, let's get to the next question here from the Wharf Sports Cards. The 2013 John Elway Select Black 1/1 did over 10K at auction on Thursday. It's an important set, but a card that was made a decade plus after John Elway retired. So is this another sign that collectors care more about the quality of the card versus whether it's playing days or not? Or is this just a product of the insane market right now, and everything rare that goes to auction is going nuclear for the time being? Also, what are the odds that we see the same card sell again within the next year? For context, Elway's most recent PMG Green, which is out of 15, was a BGS 8 that sold for $45,600 in December. And his 1997 Rose Zero Masterpiece 1/1 PSA Authentic sold for $13,800 most recently. But that same card has sold 3 times in the last year, with the first sale being $19,000. What do you think about this?
That 2013 is the first year of Select for football, though, isn't it?
Under Panini's banner, yes.
Yeah, so I think that set is very popular with the football guys. Austin collects them. Those guys really like that set. So the Black Elway probably has some significance to the set collectors on that one. I know we'd definitely rather have the Masterpiece Rose Zero playing day stuff, but I mean, as we see with one-of-ones from popular sets, when they come up, some of these guys are fighting over them.
Yeah, I think that's the answer. I think this is the importance of that set leading to a demand for that card of a Hall of Fame player who is in it. And it's a really sharp looking black 1/1 too.
Dude, there's like CD Lamb Black Pandoras selling for more than John Elway 101. So like, who am I to complain about it or whatever?
What do you think about this playing days thing? Like, so in other words, your answer kind of bakes in the idea that the set overcomes whether or not the card is a playing days John Elway card. That just the set is so sick. John Elway's a Hall of Fame player, and people who love 2013 Select are not going to complain too much that it's not a John Elway playing years card.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where it's another consideration. I'd prefer to have playing days. If it's not, it lowers the value quite a bit for me. But this one, let me put it this way: if I was a John Elway collector, I would not turn this type of card away for that reason.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the rabbit hole of like when that Credentials Merino sold for the second time in the last year and like lost half of its value a little bit more, that sent me down a rabbit hole of seeing what other Dan Marino one of ones exist. And as I was going down that rabbit hole, I was seeing that there are other like 90s Dan Marino one of ones. Most of them were inserts, but a few base set too, from brands not nearly as well known as Credentials or Panini era stuff. But like those sold for like $1,000-$2,000, So like you can go down this really interesting rabbit hole of like Dan Marino one of ones, John Elway one of ones from the 90s, and I would it got me pretty intrigued. Okay, here we go. The Dan Marino PMG green coming in at what did that sell for?
This is the green kaboom for 12
Oh,
grand
sorry.
in 2022. Sells for more than about the same as the green PMG. No, the green PMG Merino sells for 15 grand last.
Wow. Nice. Yeah. So that those are fun rabbit holes to go down. Is looking at like playing days 90s one of ones of guys like John Elway and Dan Marino. So all right, let me get my questions back up here. Okay. So next question from Drake's PC. While it's not all that surprising to see many rare and scarce cards sell for all-time highs, what do you make about the fact that cards like the Ken Griffey Jr. 89 Upper Deck PSA 10, which has a population of over 4,300, jumps from routinely selling for around 2,500 in January of this year to now selling routinely for around $4,000 7 months later? What do you think about that? Maybe here, let me can you pull up the chart for that, Griffey?
Yeah.
Thank you.
So he was saying it sold for 2,500 in March, and now it's almost 4 grand.
Basically, yeah. Big
Well,
jump.
should I say it for like the 8th time in the last 3 days about how the Pokemon Pop 40,000 sells for 1,500, and it keeps going up and up and up. So there may be some Pokemon of it all effect on some of these like very popular. Someone told me the LeBron PSA 10 Chromes have jumped 1,000 in the last few weeks as well.
Okay.
I don't know if that's LeBron pump stuff or that's just what I heard today.
Sure. Yeah, no, I could certainly see that being the case.
Whoops. Topps Chrome PSA 10. I can't type. Sorry. All right, 6,000, and it was
there you go.
4,000 pre-national. Now it's 6,000.
Yeah, those are the cards that I look at as bellwethers of maybe new people, maybe the people who like to buy quantity. I remember in the previous bull cycle, there was Gary Vee and his disciples who were much more focused on, PSA 10s of high pop or higher pop cards rather than rare cards.
Is this like the froth is building so much that it's every card is going up, or is this like a couple one-offs here? What do you think?
Well, my observation has been that most of the froth has been coming actually from Pokemon sort of spilling over into the aggregate market numbers, and that like when you see some mind-blowing sports card sales that they're like the Curry 48 Bowman Black out of 48 that went from 10 grand to 100 grand in 2 years, like that those are just kind of outliers, and that it makes price action feel a lot more pronounced than it is. Like the CL50 is up 20% over the last 6 months, which is substantial, but it's not anywhere near the growth that the CL50 was seeing during 2020, 21, 22, when it was like doubling and tripling and quadrupling. So I do think this is more modest, but when I see the LeBron Topps Chrome going up 50% in a few months, I mean,
Look at all these.
who's buying those?
This is a 3-month sort on the CL50, and these are all up 30, 40%.
Yeah. What do you think? Who's buying these, and why are they paying more than comps?
I don't know. I mean, this probably feels just like the whole market's going up and people are excited and Bitcoin's going up. I don't know. Everything's up.
Yeah.
I mean, you and I are so focused on the opposite of this stuff that we've kind of ignored it for the last couple of years. So
It
circling
all,
back, like it's up.
yeah, it is up, but it isn't up so much that it's like yelling at us in our faces. Like, remember the LeBron Topps Chrome PSA 10 was a $45,000 card for a period of time.
Actually,
You know, the Luca Prism Silver PSA 10, I think that got as high as like 10,000 at one time.
Look at
Right,
this crap.
it's the fucking Eiffel Tower.
Oh my god! Yeah, we're not even close to that.
No, exactly. Or like, look at the CL50. Like the CL50 is up, 30% over the last year, but it's not even half of what it was in its peak.
The peak was 35,000. We're back to almost half. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. So like,
But it peaked for like a week.
Right. Yeah, it was brief. It was just a crazy spike. The craziest spike is the Michael Jordan 86 Fleer 57 PSA 9, which got up to like 90,000, and then it fell down to like 20, and it's been there ever since. Yeah, look at how thin the band is too.
Because like, there's 3,000 of them. That's why I don't understand this Pokemon thing. Those Umbreons are going to keep coming.
Yeah, I don't know, man. People, especially newer people, they really seem, or I don't know, entrepreneurial people. They love cards that have a lot of copies. I've never understood it. So,
Dude, let's look at how many copies are on eBay right now for Umbreon. 90.
let's sweep the floor, dude. Let's just buy all of them right now.
They're all overpriced. They're all priced over. Well, look at the bids. There's a bunch of them with bids. 20.
If we just bought all 90 of those, tomorrow there'd be 180.
Yeah, exactly. Like you can't even. Oh, I'm cornering the market. Nope, can't do that.
All right, let me keep rolling here. So, next question is from Ryan Bitter, who says the COVID era bull market occurred with a huge increase in hobby participants flooding into the market. It seems to me, and I could be wrong, that the current bull market is occurring without such a large influx of new people. So what is driving it up? I mean, we basically just speculated on that quite a bit. Do you want to add anything to that?
Are we sure that it's not a lot of new people coming in?
No, I think those cards we were just looking at say that it might be.
Because the industry tab is still setting an all-time high every month as well.
Yeah, it is. The industry tab is nuts.
There is like, it feels like maybe 10 or 15 new high-end buyers that you and I are noticing pop up on YouTube and Instagram and stuff. But it's hard to measure like the total number of people coming in and out, but I wouldn't be surprised if that's up as well.
Yeah. Yep. Definitely could be a mix of all those things. All right, let me get to the next question from Vinny. Vinny Slabarino says, I always enjoy the show. Do you see any parallels between the 2020 bull market, arguably caused by fractional ownership, with the current bull run, arguably caused by repacks and breaking? Was fractional a necessary precursor to the repack boom, meaning lessons learned from why fractional didn't work are being applied to breaking today? What do you think?
They're just so different that it's hard to, like, the repacking and stuff seems to have a lot more legs because of the gambling. Like, people just love gambling in this country, and it just that just doesn't seem to want to go away.
Yeah, and it's instant, and repacks are built on a business model that has scaled up over years and that has been established that it generates revenue and profit. And fractional was just purely theoretical. There was no substantiation of fractional working in the sports card space. It was a big experiment. If we were to diagnose why fractional didn't work, so number one, what would be the main reason you would think fractional didn't work? And then number two, could fractional, if somebody tried to come back today, could they make it work?
Well, it didn't work because the timing of when they all got popular was very poor, because people were like using those fractional markets to unload their super expensive cards at super high values, and then the shares just couldn't keep up with the value, and the values went down, so it just cratered on itself, and there's nothing they could do about it. Whereas the repacking just keeps, it can like follow the market much quicker. It's much more agile. And you're getting like 100% return immediately for a lot of these now. So I don't know.
I think the top signal for fractional was when a Donovan Mitchell rookie Prism Gold was attempting to fill at a valuation of like $150,000 or $200,000.
Yeah, people were like using those markets to unload their cards. Remember that? Like people just messing and taking advantage of the valuation.
And that's that's a risk. That's a caution that I have, a concern that I have about starting a hobby business in the middle of a bull market when that hobby business depends on the sustainability of prices. Because I think like you diagnosed it exactly right. I think one of the big problems. So first of all, I think a huge problem with fractional is that people like to hold their cards, own their cards. Pride of ownership is a big factor, and fractional deprives people of that. And that's something we said before fractional ever had proven whether it was going to work or not. But the second critique, which you nailed, I think, is that they just bought a bunch of cards at the absolute worst time, and they were even arguably paying more than the market would bear for those cards. So it's just really bad timing. Had they started this fractional marketplace in 2019 and acquired all those same cards at 2019 prices, that business would probably still be going today. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I think their timing was just really bad.
And so then I think about, okay, if we're in a bull market right now, there's going to be people starting businesses and getting excited and wanting to have some exposure to this industry on the business entrepreneurial level. And there's a great cautionary tale there, I think, of if the business model depends on prices being sustainable, the peak and valley structure of this market and its pricing can wipe people out. What do you think about that?
Yep, absolutely. And repackers are doing a pretty good job of isolating themselves from that.
Yeah. All right. Always love your questions, Vinny. All right. From Perimeter Collectibles, the market is hot, but there is a lot of skepticism on some of the sales figures for the high-end segment. How should a collector effectively navigate this environment and interpret the data that they're seeing?
Well, this is a question for you. What are you seeing, and like what are you doing to try to protect everybody from this as best you can?
Yeah. So I just think that that there is even a consummated sale is not a sale that necessarily is above board. Even a consummated arm's length transaction doesn't necessarily mean what we might want it to mean. Even a sale that's completely paid for, that's completely arm's length with no funny business, still might occur for the purpose of printing a comp rather than for the purpose of adding a card to a collection. And so I think every single sale has to be treated on a case-by-case basis, and it has to be evaluated as closely as possible. It should be looked at in the context of previous historical sales of the same card in different grades, in the same grade, similar cards. Look at the activity of the players market overall and see if this is an outlier, if it makes sense. Look at the activity surrounding that particular set. If you're able to figure out who the buyer is or who the seller is or what the platform is. I think there's a ton of context that should be included when looking at any piece of sales data. And I think that, I just want to caution people especially those who use Card Ladder, against thinking that even if a sale is fully consummated and paid, that comp is a new floor or something like that. It does not necessarily work that way. Or that comp is representative of overall market sentiment. It doesn't necessarily work that way either. I just think that that the level of healthy skepticism that I employ is pretty high, and that especially in an exuberant environment when prices are running, it's just a great time for me to exercise caution. What do you think about some of those things? What do you think about how you as a collector are interpreting sales that are happening? I know you're very skeptical right off the bat too.
Yes, skepticism is always what I start with. Pessimism, I'm always pretty pessimistic about things in general, so I lead with that. But this one feels like it's tugging at there's the tension here of like, should we be mad at the people who are shilling and manipulating we can't even specifically say how much of that's happening or who's doing it specifically, but we know there's probably more than zero. So are we mad at that? Are we trying to stop that from happening, or are we holding individuals accountable for, accepting that new floor, to your point, and accepting these new prices and just willingly paying all this new price? It's probably a little bit of both. But the fact that I can't control everyone manipulating the market, as an individual, I can only control what I can control, which is like something doubles in a week. I'm probably not going to all of a sudden want that card twice as much as I did last week.
100%. And one of the great safeguards against being duped by an outlier price is having a full understanding of the menu of cards in the category that you like. Or, like, for example, like if I'm looking at prices of the card that keeps coming to mind is that John Stockton Exquisite from last fall that sold for $18,000, and then immediately it went right back down to selling for $1,500 to $2,500, and it's just this huge outlier sale. And sometimes an outlier is just an outlier. And one of the ways that I can safeguard myself against being duped by a sale like that is understanding what comparable players from the same set sell for, understanding what cards of that Stockton have sold for previously, giving the market a chance to log a few more sales after it, looking at what other, possible substitution, like roughly equal John Stockton cards from other sets sell for. That's let me throw that up on the screen. I think that's one of the best safeguards is having a comprehensive knowledge of all the cards that are available and the alternatives that are available. And that's a really quick way to see if something's just a huge outlier. You're on mute, but there you go.
Yeah, sorry. That LeBron Exquisite that sold for $400,000, like that sale doesn't make me want to go buy a bunch of LeBrons at 5x what I've been paying for other ones. I just don't know how to explain that in any other way. Like, it just makes me want to wait and let it cool off and let the next 5 auctions play out.
Right. Definitely. Okay. All right. Let me get some more questions here. So the next question I've got up is from Drake's PC. With all of these frothy high-end sales happening recently, how are we to distinguish between true collectors who are paying up and acquiring cards they truly want to own versus other nefarious activity like money laundering, shilling, and or buying between friends and eating the fees in order to try and sell similar cards for more money?
I mean, you can't really, right?
I mean, you can opt out.
Yeah, right. Which is what I was saying. Like, just don't buy it.
Yeah. I can definitely opt out.
This is why the one of one part of this discussion is tough, because
you can't opt out of that.
The collector really feels a draw to be like, I have to win this. And this is what we saw with the J Color. It's like he like admitted he knew he was bidding against someone who wanted to resell it, and he even like named them personally. And it's like, I'm gonna beat that person because this is my only shot, It's like, sometimes you just have to like eat it and outbid the shill. It's crazy.
Yeah. And when there's when there's evidence of foul play, document it. And let's not just run wild in the court of public opinion without fully researching and gathering facts and carefully considering and sleeping on things. And then, but if there is clear evidence of bad activity going on, I think there is a moral imperative to share it, and or at least to raise the flag, to fly the flag of caution. So that's another thing that I would encourage too, is just as a community, we to some degree we self-regulate, But the other side of that coin is just it can get really ugly if we falsely accuse somebody of something because we had incomplete evidence or we reasoned about it improperly. What do you think about this idea of calling out bad behavior, but doing it carefully?
Yeah, as I've thought about this not just in sports cards, but like politics. The more as I get older, the more I think like I don't necessarily think it's the best to like go straight at the problem and like try to root out individual bad actors. It's more about like removing the incentive for them to want to do that. And I'm thinking about that here. And the incentive is like, if we have people just rushing to like pay the next comp and like keep increasing it, then they're just going to keep doing it. But if we, as collectors, like stand firm and not pay it, then we remove the incentive. So it's something along those lines is how I think about it. But I don't even know if that's the best solution because then my follow-up is outbid the Shiller on 1-of-1s. It's like it falls apart, you know?
Yeah, well, one of the collector's advantages is that, especially the seasoned collector, is that we understand how to avail ourselves of research tools, pricing databases, checklists, build our own checklists of all the cards of the players that we like to collect and the sets we like to collect. And we can pivot quickly. We can be nimble and move into other cards that we really like too that are not the subject of manipulation. So that's one of the great tools in the collector's tool belts, I think, and that's a skill that is worth developing as a collector. That's one of the most powerful tools we have, is that we can opt out of markets that are being manipulated and go to other things that we like too. From Drake's PC, on a recent episode of the Football Card Podcast, John and Brett discussed how the best cards are not in inventories, but they are in collections. As I wandered around the National, I noticed that cards of players I don't collect that I would consider to be some of their best cards were in inventories. Why do you think some players' best cards are in inventories while other players' best cards stay in collections? And which speaks to a stronger collector base?
The best cards of players like are usually in collectors' possessions because like it'll eventually find its way to a collector and then they hold it and that's the end of it. Whereas the ones that are in inventories and the flippers, they'll move around for a while and they're in their collections for a short amount of time and you might see it in a few cases here and there, but eventually it's going to find its way to someone who's going to stop selling it. So like the overall timeline of it, it's a majority of the time it's spent in the collector's possession. So that's my explanation for that. The tension around like inventories versus collections at the National. The problem with the inventory thing is like you and I we know those people and we've seen their Instagram. So when we see the inventory at National, we're just sort of numb to it and we've already seen it. So it's like, that's why we're not wild. They still may be amazing cards individually. Like we go to Coleman's and it's like, these cards are incredible, but I've seen his Instagram. So I already knew what I was going to see.
Yeah, the inventory problem is compounded by the fact that sometimes these dealers put out their C and B level cards and the A level cards don't even come out because people are willing to buy the C level and the B level out of their display cases, or
True.
Or like, they'll people will send their second and third tier cards to auction. And the funny thing about auctions is that they start to feel like their own little self-contained world where it's like, oh, this is what's in this auction. I'm going to get the best card or one of the best cards in this auction, thinking that that's also going to be one of the best cards after this auction is over. And it's not. It's just that was the caliber of the offering for that particular auction cycle. What do you think about that?
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly that. That's a great example.
All right, let's go to THG Sports Cards, who says, are you ever tempted to let go of a PC card in a bull market?
Of course.
Yeah. Yep.
Get some cash, sit out for a couple months and come back in and buy some other stuff with the cash. It's always a consideration. Yeah.
I think looking back, for those of us who remember the prior bull market of 2021, 22, there were real opportunities to sell a PC card or two and then come back strong during the market retreat of 2023 and 2024.
You said the line, it hasn't come out. Well, you and I recorded with Brett the other day, and this was always my favorite line of like the delineation between a investor versus a collector is always like the intent of what you plan to finish with. And it's like, do you intend on building up a collection and finish with that collection, or do you intend to build up money and ultimately have your end goal be money? And that's just like the super easy way to do it. And I think it works perfectly.
Yeah.
And so along the way, I think you can still sell cards and build up money with the intent of the long term being it's going to eventually come back into cards. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
Definitely not. Like some of the greatest collections were built by timing sales well and over a long period. Like some of the great collections that have been building over the last 10, 15, 20 years of people who were just steadily buying things and then timing the market pretty well, which I don't think is terribly hard to do. I think there are certain times when it's just a bull market is literally staring you in the face. I think that was really obvious. Like just, we have data tools that can sort of show that, that was very obvious in 2021 era. And it's obvious now, especially in certain segments. Like Curry's index is up 60% year to date. Messi's index is up 60% year to date. Jordan, Kobe, LeBron, 25-ish, 30% year to date. And these are indexes. These indexes are conservative. These indexes only move when a price of a card in the index is a new price is recorded. So these indexes are, if there is an upward momentum in general, these indexes are downplaying the true the true impact of the effect, the true magnitude of the effect. So, can I show some of these indexes that you're looking at?
Sure.
Okay.
LeBron's not even up that much. He's up 5% in the last 3 months, but I think let's do 3 months. MJ, here, let's do it this way, actually. Let's do filter like a lot of cards.
Yeah.
Like 200 or something.
Okay.
And then let's go you said 3 months?
So, I was looking at year to date.
Year to date, sorry. Year to date. Okay, so year to date.
Gengar.
I'm going to do basketball and football. Is that good?
Yeah. That's cool.
Like fucking Gengar. All right. In order, player indexes where we have at least 200 cards. These would be very popular players, so bear with us on that one. Steph Curry. This is in order. Steph, Kobe, Shaq, LeBron. I was wrong. Sorry. Joe Burrow, Iverson, Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, Michael Jordan. All these guys are up 25, 30, 40, 50%. Mahomes, 15. Luka, 5. And then it's like the Reds are younger guys.
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know. I think it's pretty clear, at least for some players, that we're in a strong market right now. And that doesn't mean that it can't get stronger, and that doesn't mean that it's going to crash. And certainly 2021 was much stronger.
Did you see Shea? He's still up 180% year to date.
Yeah.
He actually blows away Curry.
Yep. His market has very quietly been raging. So,
whew.
but yeah, just to getting to the heart of the question, tempted to sell a PC card in a bull market. Yeah, absolutely. I think I've been thinking about letting a PC card or two go for the last week or two. But what's the downside of not selling a PC card? I have to keep the card. There's like
that's what you just said on the pod. You just said that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so, I was like pulling into my driveway, and you just said that.
So like, I don't know. It's a win-win scenario, I think, for a collector who has some PC cards. I think you can sell something and compound the value of your money if you get a little lucky and are strategic about it. But if you just sit on your hands most of the time, like me, you just end up having cool cards to enjoy.
I asked ChatGPT this question this week. I was like, "What do you think about selling some cards right now, given the market?" I just want kind of to see what it said. And ChatGPT was basically like, "Oh, that's really smart. Lower your risk, and cards are super illiquid compared to cash." And I sort of like, "What the fuck do you know about liquidity?" I think I don't think ChatGPT is able to keep up with how liquid cards actually are, dude.
No, nope. Think about the materials that ChatGPT is training on to produce those answers.
It's just like a boring answer you'd hear from the internet, which is, cash is the most liquid.
Right.
assets are the least liquid.
That's the only thing that I get cautious about is like, what if I go through the process of selling a big card and like it comes to auction in a month or two from now, or closes 2 months from now, and then I get my cash payout, and then the market just keeps running and my cash just keeps getting weaker and weaker and weaker as the market keeps running. And I thought I was being smart selling a card, and it turns out that I should have just kept the card because my cash is just losing purchasing power while the market runs.
Yep.
All right. From Publius 13, next question. Periodically, I consider taking a hobby sabbatical for a variety of reasons, but I never do because I don't want to miss a collecting opportunity. It's a bit of a catch-22, as I would benefit from taking a break, but the hobby is not conducive to taking one. If you were the hobby czar, would you consider instituting a hobby off-season where marketplaces close? They must close for 3 months annually. It would give us all a chance to take a break without FOMO, to reflect on the past hobby season. Card statistics and performance could also cleanly be split by seasons as opposed to evergreen charts. I love this.
Look, I don't know where this guy thinks he is, but this is frickin' America, okay? Like, this is land of the free and capitalism. If you're uncomfortable, then take a break. If you would benefit from taking a break, then take a fucking break. But don't make others take a break.
How is this question going to be the one that triggers you like this?
But don't make others take a break because you can't handle your fucking shit. Okay? Called personal responsibility, son. Learn some.
Well, look, this isn't unprecedented. Markets take breaks. Trading markets are only open during certain hours during the week.
Dude, my response is like, what is this, North Korea? What is going on with this question?
Like, it sounds like you want to live in Canada. Go live in Canada. Like, I'm sorry. We have guns and freedom here in America.
People would riot. People would riot in this hobby if you made
you would have to
imagine.
It's like to both of your points, you would have to solve for more problems. You'd have to solve the problem of, okay, so we turn off the marketplaces, then everybody just starts doing private deals at shows. So you have to turn off the card shows too, and then
at gunpoint, just everybody's.
It is. It has to be at gunpoint. The economy goes underground. Like, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna stop me and Josh from like making a deal? Like, you have to literally come in and threaten to put us in jail, and then if we try to free, then what? You're gonna tase us?
This sounds like the United Kingdom. Like,
the National Guard is deployed at shows, and
not even at shows. Like, to your house. Like, when your friend comes over and you're like, oh, let's do a deal.
You could get imprisoned for a tweet that markets a card for sale.
See, Sasha T got a taste of like us taking things all the way to the edge. If you bring up a little topic, a little sliver of hope, it's like, we'll take it all the way to the end.
No. Yeah. Who wrote this?
Publius.
I'm sure he did.
Dude, I love this question. I thought this question was really creative.
Dude, every
fascist.
time. Yeah. Every time Chris is like, I think it's cool.
Yeah, it's so annoying.
I just what do you think would happen if this actually worked? If we actually couldn't, just because like sports take off seasons, that's the analogy. What if we did have an off season of sports card buying, selling, and trading? What if there actually was such a one?
But it doesn't make sense because sports, have an off season, but what happens in the off season? It's off season for the athletes to like rest and recoup from playing a season.
That's what he's saying. An off season.
No, I know, but it's not an off season for like the deals that get made. The athletes are still usually playing, especially the Euro guys are usually playing in some FIBA or Euro championship like games. Like, it's not an actual off season. Like, again, this is like, we're humans. We have free will. We can do whatever the fuck we want. And no government is going to contain us. Usually when they try, the people who have the ability have the responsibility to overthrow said such government.
All right, Christina cooked. Sorry,
maybe it's more like how the stock market doesn't run on weekends or something.
Yeah, that's a precedent. I don't know. I think it would just create a lot of pent up demand. I think people would just go nuts after the off season. It would just
whenever there's like news that breaks on like a Friday after close of market, people just like pre-market sale. You could like see the charts are just like waiting, so they're like putting the money in Bitcoin while they wait because they're so excited.
Yeah, dude. I think it would actually compound the problem that he's trying to solve.
This is like the bubble. It's like the bubble. People invested in Trae Young. They were just like, I can't wait till he plays again.
All right. Go ahead.
I also just want to also say, like, it doesn't make sense as well because we're not a security like exchange. Like we don't. It's not a security asset. Like, so what is to stop the little kid from trading his cards at the schoolyard with his friend when the market is closed? Like, are you going to arrest 2 7-year-olds? Like, what?
Dude, listen to this. This is insane. Pat goes, the Hobby Supreme leader sent me to a labor camp for selling a Kaboom in a Burger King parking lot. There we go.
Like,
we've taken this to
who does this Publius think he is? I'm gonna need his like legal name and his address.
Just stop. You
okay?
just let Publius cook a little bit. This is one of the more creative questions we've gotten, and I want to encourage creative questions. All right, let's just like maybe we're already over an hour. Let me just fly through like 2 or 3 more.
Pick your fave. Like find like a market PSA 9 versus 10 bullshit.
Well, I kind of like this one. Basketball Card Collector 93 said, "Are there cards in your collection that you will never sell, no matter how good the offer is? I recently had someone offer to pay strong for a card that I have in my collection that I feel would be almost irreplaceable, and so despite a respectful offer, I still said no."
This reminds me of a story.
Yeah, stop me when I say too much, Chris.
What do you mean? What do you say?
After National, the 3 of us are sitting on a patio, and you get a DM.
Oh,
and someone makes a crazy offer.
Don't listen to me.
Dude, you were like,
like, dude, just stop. I just stop. I do a lot to try and put up lots of like thorns that if somebody tries to offer me, they get stung.
I don't know, man. That seemed like a flower.
That was a bit of a flower, but I don't know. I don't know. Like, it doesn't really, like, the offer never works on me. I don't think I've ever had, well, maybe like once or twice I've had a situation where somebody comes in on an offer and I'm like, yeah, I'll take it. I'm a bit of a control freak. I'm only ready to sell a card once I've fully thought it through and I've come to terms with selling it, and then I decide to sell it.
That's why you auction it too. You don't even want to like have someone go back and forth with you. You want to just let the market decide.
Yeah, just let it fly. Just let that thing soar. Which is a little bit unfair because I'm constantly hammering people with offers, and I'm just like, don't offer me. All right. Cage Lawyer says, "What inning is the bubble in?"
Third. It's always the third.
It's always the third, dude.
Do I have you on board with this? This is the third. This is like our company stance. This is like a board meeting we've had. The answer is third.
I am on board with this. And what if I'm going to do this? We've always been assuming this whole time that time progresses forward.
Stop.
But what if we actually get to like the 8th inning and then we actually go back to the 1st inning and then we're in the 3rd inning again? I mean, what if the time-space continuum collapsed?
What if someone wanted to veto this board meeting decision? Just for fun.
Well, if Josh and I want to veto it, we'll let you know.
I've done the math, and it's like a 5-year cycle, right? On these like whatever we're doing right now, and so 5 times 9, 45. Yeah, it's not enough. Never mind. We need like 30 innings.
We need 30 innings. All right, here's another question I liked. What Prism parallels are going to take off after the gold and the gold vinyl? I imagine more than just gold and one of ones will matter.
This is the question that's like, hey, I can't afford gold and black because the market's running up, but I want to get in on this. Which one should I buy next?
Yeah, exactly.
Optic.
Yeah.
Prism parallel.
That's not a Prism parallel, but I do like that. I always thought the Prism Mojo is pretty cool. It's number 25. It's like the ultimate version of the silver. Looks very similar to the silver. I don't know. I bet I don't know. That's crappy advice because I don't own any Mojo, so like I'm not buying those. So why? But I don't know. I've always thought they were kind of cool.
White Sparkle.
The White Sparkle is really, really a beautiful looking card too.
I feel like there's a green, some sort of green parallel out of 5.
Yep.
The neon green. Maybe
those are in high demand. All right, one last question here, and then we'll be done. This one from
Wait, hold on. I actually think the shimmer is prettier than the disco. And I'm not just saying that like because I'm looking for the neon green and I have a shimmer, but like the shimmer is a darker green, whereas the neon green is kind of like lime pukey green.
Yeah, those single digit print run shimmers are cool.
Mhm.
I could be convinced that a black shimmer is like better than a black finite in some alternate world.
Wow. Okay. They do look cool. All right. Let's get to this is the final question, and we're going to be done. From Out of Wax. A recent poll showed that people in the hobby prefer to be in a bear market rather than a bull market. What are the pros and cons of each? For example, a bull market brings out cards that are usually kept away. Like, we don't have to go into depth in this, but just either of you, what do you feel? Do you like a bull or a bear market better? And if so, just quick reason why.
Definitely the bear market, because I prefer to defend my hobby and why people hate it versus having to put up with all the self-flagellation.
Dude, self-flagellation. Somebody write that title down. Christina?
But I don't know which one's which.
That's okay.
But
Let me and Chris tell you. We'll explain it to
okay.
you.
Yeah, please mansplain this to me, please.
Do you like it better when the market for cards is going up or going down or flat?
See, I'm reading this as like, do you like bulls or bears better? And
The Chicago mascots.
like can I say Cubs? Like, I don't.
Okay, Christina opts out. Christina just can't help but fight the hypo.
Also, I love which poll he mentioned.
Nice, and she loves the poll. All right, we are done here with our question asking, and now this is the time of the show when we pick a title.
Okay, what was the last one you just told me to write down?
No, don't write that. Don't write that one down.
Oh,
I can't even spell that.
Yeah, me neither. That's why I didn't try.
I can visualize it though.
Okay, let's read the titles.
Go ahead.
I should be outside.
Facts.
Nobody watches this. Should we stop now? Because
it's a strong start.
The Amish made the shirts.
That's good. It's good.
A refresh from your mom's.
What is that?
I don't remember which one that was about. Rabies level froth. No shame in waiting. And collector's tool belt.
I just picture Al Borland. I think if we went with the collector's tool belt, Stiff would make a thumbnail that's like Josh is Tim the Toolman Taylor and me as Al Borland, just with showing off our tool belts. Like, all right.
What is he?
You def-
Okay.
Yeah, I'm like doing Santa. Also, by the way, not brought up on here. Someone totally dropped the ball. Jake. Santa downtown was purchased for $4,000 this week. What? Christmas in August? Anyway.
You missed one. I knew it. I said one and I was like, I hope Nick writes that down. And he did, and you didn't put it on there. Outbid the Shill.
Okay, I'm sorry. It's not on here, like on the start.
I know, but I can see him. I found it in the comments and he put the little note by it.
Okay.
Because I said it and I was like, that was a good one. Someone should write that down.
For inexplicable reasons, I was starring them too, even though I never star them usually. And I just think that maybe I unstarred it while somebody else, Christina or Nick, actually starred it.
Yeah, that might be it. There it is. Outbid the Shill.
And that's the one I want.
That's the one you want. Outbid the Shill. Okay.
It's like playful advice that the market's going up, but who cares? Outbid those people.
I'm on board with that. I like that. Christina, do you have?
Does it matter? Does it matter even if I don't?
No.
Yeah, Josh is already saying no.
How many votes does our votes count for versus Christina?
Is there a number bigger than infinity?
So it's like, if we both opted out and she voted, does she win in that scenario?
Probably not, because my vote's probably a negative. Let's be honest. So it's like, oh, what other thing could it be?
It's like, do me and Chris agree or not is the question.
What emoji do we want on Outbid the Shill? Santa?
Is this like some Christmas in July bullshit already? Is that what's happening?
Well, since it's already August, and that is after July, we missed Christmas in July. But it's also things around here, like where we are starting to turn very fall-like.
Crispy?
Like, no, not crispy yet, but like people are now, like there's less people around because school started in Illinois today. So like
Oh.
literally, like I was told that Illinois school started on a Friday today for some reason. So like there are less people around, and I'm just like I'm feeling it.
Have you
Bring
seen the
on fall,
reels?
y'all.
Have you seen the reels where people will be sitting outside and it's like a little bit fall, and you can hear like the I can't remember the singer's name. It's like the Christmas song where she's like ah, and then you could like hear it in the wind, and the people are like, "What was that?" So that's like Christmas is coming.
It's not even about Christmas though for me. Like I just like fall.
Winter, Mariah Carey.
I'm just not
Mariah Carey. Yep,
I'm just not
You know what I'm talking about?
I'm not a summer person.
I do.
Yeah, those reels are fire.
I haven't seen them. You should send me one next time you're
I will.
scrolling and you find it.
Yes, it's like it's gonna be coming. It's every year, you know, like the grocery stores have the Christmas shit out like a month earlier every year.
Yeah.
What if this became a segment where I just scroll up and just show
Random ones.
Yeah, just show comments because we never engage with them. Like we engage with 1% of the comments.
That's by design.
I'm going to find out how to shut off comments so that when you rewatch the show, you don't get to see the comments. And then if you don't watch, it's going to be like if you don't watch live, it's going to be like Instagram where like you're just shit out of luck and you don't get to see what people are laughing about during the show.
Oh, that one's good right there.
That's not saying much.
Exactly. That's why it's funny.
What about this one?
There's a tribe of asparagus. They spelled there wrong.
That just makes it that much better. Are the hat values on Card Ladder?
I'm surprised more people didn't sell their hats on eBay. I'm kind of proud of that. You said there was like one gray hat. There wasn't like the rare ones I didn't see on eBay.
I haven't really like been watching. It's just
I just searched. There's nothing.
Dominic brought it up to me, and then he was like, "No, really," because I was like, "Shut up." And then I looked, and the sale was in Terra Peak. So
There's one sale
for $40. Like,
I know, but like there was a couple hundred hats,
203.
and there's only one sale, so people keeping them.
Yeah, they were pretty nice hats. Like they were. I didn't go cheap on our swag this year.
No, you did not. The hoodies are insane.
Brendan Ryan agrees that the non-live watchers should be punished.
Yeah, thank you, Brendan. I think so.
I'd like to punish the 49 people who are still watching right now.
I think we should do a segment where we come up with a topic and we take it all the way to the end of the.
just keep on upping the ante on its subject and see how far I can go.
Because like Publius asked this question where he didn't think that we'd get that riled up about it.
Well, I mean,
all right.
no
I'm ending this stream. Thank you guys. You'll never know when it's going to be the last crossover, so this might have been it.
Sucks
See you
to
guys.
be you.